Her temperature twice a day to make sure that she doesn't start to contract symptoms of Ebola.
It was a very positive thing for me. I know a lot of people have been saying it's a no decision, but with the way our law system works, it's really the best thing that could have happened for our fight for equality.
The battle for marriage equality remains front and center in Michigan, one day after the U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear several cases involving gay marriage. By making that decision, the court left in place circuit court decisions that struck down bans on same-sex marriage, effectively legalizing the practice in 11 more states. And
while 32 states now have legalized same-sex marriage, including Nevada and Idaho just this afternoon, Michigan remains in a legal limbo. Fox 17 political reporter Paul Cicchini joins us in studio now to explain what that means in our state. Paul?
The fate of same-sex marriage rests in the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals, and its decision could be handed down at seemingly any moment. That's leaving a lot of people anxious.
It would be a great case to go to the Supreme Court because the decision made by the Supreme Court right now means that all gay marriages that happened before this are legal in the 30 states that had those rulings.
Dawn Broderick is in a same-sex marriage. She's been out for 30 years. Her partner, who's been out just a few years, declined to be on camera. The last time she was, the couple received hate mail. Dawn and her wife are among those waiting to hear from the U.S. 6th Circuit Court of Appeals, which has yet to rule on cases involving gay marriage from Kentucky, Ohio, and Michigan.
In theory, the 6th Circuit, which is an independent court system, can say, we don't care what all these other federal circuits are doing, we're going to uphold Michigan's ban.
If that's the court's decision, Kurt Benson, a professor at Cooley Law School, says it's all but guaranteed the Supreme Court would take the case. But that's not necessarily the next step. The losing side could appeal to the entire 6th Circuit, a rare process called en banc, where nearly the entire panel of judges would hear the case.
If it's a case of major public importance, that's when they hear it. So there's a good chance they will hear it en banc, even though traditionally they don't like doing that.
At the time, the court's en banc panel could overturn itself or affirm the decision. Then the case could be appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court. And by the time it makes it to the highest court in the land,
there will be thousands and thousands of legal same-sex marriages. And the idea that a year from now the court's going to go, never mind, it's not unconstitutional to ban them. That would be truly legal chaos.
But it's the legality of marriage that Dawn Broderick is most looking forward to, because until then, Dawn says she cannot properly care for her family.
Have them on my insurance policy, to have them, if somebody gets sick, I have legal right to be with them by their bedside. This is going to mean so much more for my security and my safety in my marriage.
Okay, so the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals out west just struck down gay marriage bans in Idaho and Nevada. Now that court also covers Arizona, Alaska, and Montana. So right now 32 states technically have legalized same-sex marriage, or a court has done that for them, but the number is likely to jump to 35.
Imagine, if you will, the court that we're in, our circuit, and that goes to the Supreme Court, and could they reverse all this? I mean, if they decide to take up the case and then say, no, this isn't legal?
Well, that's what Kurt Benson was saying. It's really now that if Michigan's case, so the 6th Circuit decides that Michigan's ban on gay marriage is constitutional, they say, okay, that's good, it's reviewed by the full panel, it goes the same way, goes to the court. Highly unlikely the court would reverse that decision because, as Benson said, you're talking thousands of gay marriages that would have been conducted across the country already, and that would leave a legal mess from Social Security to child care, adoptions. I mean, we're talking basically everything that you can do in a male-female couple right now, marriage. It would be, done for so many gay couples across the country.
All right, thanks for explanation on that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
Well, most